Now, if you weren't interesting before, these will really help, but you can't just spam these methods because you're gonna have to eventually work on them. Like, most people would be walking around with no purpose, absolutely no purpose. They just go to work, go home, talk to the girlfriend on the call, on the phone, whatever it is, messaging, texting, who cares, doesn't matter. They really have nothing going on. And if they do have something going on, if they're possibly going to college, possibly just working at a normal, regular job, they're not interesting at all. If you ask them what they're doing on the weekend, they're probably just gonna say, oh, I'm just gonna go out with my friends, drink, smoke, all that BS. They're just gonna do the same thing. You ask someone else that's the exact same, maybe they're doing a different job, but they're still doing the same thing. Ask them what they're doing on the weekend. Oh, I'm going to a party. Oh, I'm going to a concert. Oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's just straight boring shit. And the fact that you clicked on the video, one, you probably clicked it because you want to know if it's good or not. Or two, you actually want to learn and figure out what it is that I can do to instantly become interesting. I'm not saying I'm the most interesting person and because of that you have to listen to what I'm saying. No, if anything, if you probably listen to what I'm saying, you could probably be more interesting than me. You just never know because you never tried. In other people's videos, most, not all of the videos, but most of the videos of others have tips that have to continuously be worked on to eventually reap the rewards. Now with this one, with my tips, you can instantly use them and just instantly become interesting, like that. Now with these methods, you can obviously just continue working on them, but you can instantly use them right now to just become more of an appeasing person. So starting off with number one, you have to have a passion. Have something that you really, really want to do. Now, I don't mean say you want to just have something and then I'll work towards it. No, for me, in my opinion, I have a lot of passions. Number one, I like being extremely hyper competitive when it comes to almost anything. And I was like this even when I was younger. I was always very competitive with my brother, especially when we played soccer. If we're outside, he made 10 goals, I'm gonna make 11 goals the next day. He ran the fastest, I'm trying to beat him in speed. He ran the longest, I'm trying to beat him in length. Like, I've always been this type of person. No matter what it is, I've always been this type of person. Now, if your passion is football, do you talk about football? How do you talk about football? If your passion is about even history, even if you're a nerd, you can appear more interesting than someone who's a playboy, someone who's a jock. It doesn't matter who you are. You can still look more interesting. I'm gonna give you an example. You have a nerd on one side and a good-looking guy on the other side. The good-looking guy doesn't know how to speak that well. He doesn't really have passion. He just looks good. Then you have the nerd. He doesn't look that good at all. If anything, at best, he's a 5 out of 10. That's it. Doesn't have anything else. But he's just really good with history. Like, he just knows a lot about a history. He just knows. And on top of that, it's not just the fact that he just knows. No, this guy, he knows how to speak. He knows how to talk about history. He could come out with a random fact and be like, hey, did you know in the 1980s, this and this happened, and because of this, now we're living with this situation in our hands. And if he speaks in a way that's so fluent, relaxed, calm, confident manner, he's gonna appear more interesting and on top of that, more attractive than the guy that just looks good. He just looks good, but this guy is actually an interesting being. Now we're going to method number two, asking unique questions. The key to this is to be unexpected. I'm gonna give you a super simple one. Even if you know this, just pretend you don't know this. Let's say you're playing basketball with a couple of friends and you're bouncing the basketball. Out of nowhere, just be like, hey, did you guys know that the first basketball was made out of pig skin? Like, it was literally just skin straight from the pig, like stripped from the pig. People might think, oh, that's a little weird. But you're getting them to think. That's the whole point. You're getting them to think. In the back of their mind, they can be like, whoa, how did you know that? Even if it's weird, even if it's interesting, it doesn't matter. Even if it's weird or cool or disgusting, it doesn't matter. People are gonna be like, how did you know this? How do you get this information? All of a sudden, you're interesting. If I'm working at a restaurant, let's say a pretty girl were to walk up and I'm a waiter, and she talks about her food and how she likes her food and this and that, and all of a sudden, randomly, you just pop up with a question. Did you know that honey can't get spoiled? She's gonna be like, whoa, I didn't know that. And I bet you watching too, I bet you did not know that either. And then you add on top of that. Now, whether I know this is true or not, it doesn't matter, I'm gonna add on top of that. Now, if I get this wrong, don't quote me on it. I'm not 100% sure on this. Even if you don't know the fact, and let's say you're not even 100% sure of the fact, you don't even know if it's 100% true or not, you could tell her, you'd be like, hey, I'm not 100% sure, like, don't quote me on it. But whenever an intruder enters a beehive, the bees dance or they flap their wings extremely fast to the point where it heats up the insect and it basically explodes. That's how they protect their honey. And the fact that the bees protected their hive, that means that you have honey. And like I said, honey can't get spoiled. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that amazing what bees can do? And the girl's gonna look at you like, whoa, how did you know this? Like, even if she didn't need to know, now she knows. She caught value from you. All right, number 3 is telling stories. Not just any stories, amazing stories. Even if it's a boring one, like you go into the store, you can make it interesting. Even if you went to the store to just get melons, you can still make it interesting. Instead of just saying, oh, you went to the store to get melons. No, you could be like, I went to the store and I almost got poisoned by a melon. And they're gonna be like, whoa, what do you mean poisoned by a melon? Now you got them hooked. Now you slowly start from the beginning, slowly reach to the end. You just made what? A 2-minute story turn into a 20-minute story? All because you added a little bit of sauce to it. Now, if you guys want a video on how to tell good stories, you can comment that in the comment section, like the video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll post that right away. But one thing that you can do to tell better stories is also going to tie in to the 4th tip, the 4th method, and that's going to be stop stuttering and stop using filler words. Stop saying stop saying like, stop repeating the same words over and over and over again. I know I do that, and I'm working on it. But just because I might do it doesn't mean you should keep doing it too. So consciously remove those words. If you're about to say it, stop yourself. It's better to have a pause than being it's better to like, that sounds dumb. You sound really dumb doing that. So don't do that. Consciously remember, don't say those words when you're talking. If you're about to say it, stop yourself, bite your tongue, do something so you don't say it. Because eventually, after consciously removing those words and out of your mouth and stuttering, you're eventually gonna get to the point where you can just speak fluently because your mind unconsciously removes that from your vocabulary. And number 5, the last tip, the last method, stop talking so much. Your mouth can lead you to your own demise. Stop talking so much. Literally, just the more you say, the worse it can get for you. So be careful what you say. Now, if you're a talker, that's fine. If that's your personality, that's cool. Just be careful what you say. Make the things you say sound a little bit more mysterious. Instead of saying, oh, I went to the store and I did this and I did that, just say, oh yeah, I went to the store. And that's it. Like if someone asks you, oh, where did you go this weekend? Just be like, you know, I went to the store, bought a couple things that can help me with my project tomorrow. They're gonna be like, whoa, what's your project? What are you doing? What like, you know, they're gonna start asking you questions. Compared to, oh, so I went to the store and I was gonna do this and I bought a notebook so I can help write for my project that I have for school, and then after school I'm gonna do it. Like, shut the fuck up, shut up. But anyways, those are the 5 tips, 5 easy methods you can do instantly just to become instantly more interesting. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe, follow the socials, all that stuff. Watch my previous video on how to gain confidence. Self-confidence can really help you as well to become more interesting. But anyways, I'll see you on the next one.